Woo! Hello! This is Emily Richardson.
And this is Marsha Lorenzo.
And welcome to Trash Box, a Real Housewives podcast.
First episode, baby.
Like 20 seconds in, and I've already gone, woo! Twice.
Woo!
Like, no, I've
That's
never done
it.
that in my
You've run
life.
out. There's no more. Real Housewives.
Real Housewives is our very first episode. And last night was the very first episode of Salt Lake City. It's not a coincidence that this is happening at the same time. We said we'll start a Housewives podcast when Salt Lake City premieres, and now we're forced to do it.
We said we will not come to the podcast emporium unless Salt Lake City unleashes a new Housewives franchise upon thee.
Yeah, we.
Those were our rules, and we stuck by them. But a question for most that we'll be asking: why are we doing this? Why Housewives?
Who the hell are we?
Who are we? Who are you?
What gives
Who
us
are
the
they?
right?
What gives us the right? And I have a question for you.
Yes.
Why do you, Emily Richardson, like Housewives?
It's a big question. Okay, I'm gonna be
keep
honest.
Just keep it fucking quick.
Nope. I'm defending my thesis. No, I got into Housewives pretty late in the game. I'm 31, going on 32, and I probably got into it in my late 20s. So it's only been 3 or 4 years. I remember watching clips of The Real Housewives of Orange County as a teen and thinking, what trash. And thinking I was so much better. I thought it was
never.
Like I thought that the word housewives was like somehow anti-feminist. And I thought it was like a very like old-fashioned show. And now watching it, I'm like, there is nothing old-fashioned about these women.
Okay,
I mean, except for the racism.
The rampant racism.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're doing I started in my late 20s. But I also started late. I started with Beverly Hills, mid-Lyme disease Yolanda storyline, which is
I thought that you were gonna say you had
mid my
Lyme
Lyme disease. I look like a person that would have Lyme disease.
You wish, Marshall.
I know it doesn't make you thin. No, I started mid Beverly Hills, and I too was also someone that was like, I would never watch this trash, this reality trash, this basic bitch food. I ate and gobbled that shit up so quickly. And not only did I gobble it up, but I gobbled it up over Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Now that I am full-fledged housewife fanatic, I understand to be the leanest of meals.
Well, I would say the first couple seasons, especially with like the Taylor Armstrong breakdown and subsequent suicide of her husband, was pretty. I want to say pretty delicious, and that sounds terrible, but pretty meaty, if you will.
Oh, I did num. And also, I mean, any sibling rivalry set in the forefront. Kyle and Kim, I'm going to chew on.
Oh my god! You know, I've never had a sister.
Because
I
you ate her.
Yeah, you made that same fucking stupid joke. But that is like the worst nightmare of what your sister could be, a Kyle and Kim Richards scenario.
Is it? I don't know if that's the worst scenario it could be. I mean, I guess maybe like drug addled sibling. So,
drug adult sibling?
Drug addled.
I think that Kim qualifies as.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. I would argue that it gets worse, but you know.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. They're both nuts.
But we digress.
So let's just get into Salt Lake City because I have so many things to say.
Lake City. It's salty. It's lakey. It's city.
Now, I actually don't know. I'm assuming that there's a lake called Salt Lake there. I haven't looked it up on my map.
My only experience with Salt Lake City is once I had a connecting flight in Salt Lake City when I was 12 years old. And even at 12 years old, I remember looking out the windows of the airport and thinking, this is it. I'm dead. I die here now. I will never make it to Los Angeles.
Why? You're just like, it's dead end.
It was just...
I'm sure it was gorgeous.
It was salt. It was lake.
I'm looking it up right now. It's clear we know nothing about this city.
No, not only did we not know anything about it, we didn't Google anything. We didn't ask any questions about it to each other.
Salt Lake City. Well, what do you know about Mormons? Because all I know is that South Park episode where they get into
Well, can
Mormonism.
I be honest?
Yeah.
I was really hoping this question wouldn't come up
Why? Because you
because
don't
I
know
don't know
anything?
anything about Mormons either.
Well,
I
that's
don't
fine.
know
Okay,
anything
so
about
there
Mormons.
is okay, so I'm looking it up. Salt Lake City, it's to the never eat shredded wheat. It's to the west of mountains, and it's to the east of a big old lake
To
called
the west, to the
Great.
west of mountains.
To the west, to the west. Yes, and it's to the
Everything I
east
own in a
of
cart to the west.
a
Um,
cart. And
here's
then
what
there's a
I
lake called Great Salt Lake. Well,
well here's my like outsiders look into Mormonism. It
hmm
kind of seems like the cutesy religion. Like you have all your like big boy religions, your big boy pants,
hmm
you know, your hardcore oppressive systems, and then you have Mormonism, and it's like even though I know it seems like the tenets of it are severe, but
Yes,
it doesn't seem like you take it very seriously.
I think you do. I mean, haven't you seen those cute little boys with their books and their little
It
their
just
little
feels
little
very
boy suits at the subway?
Scientology-ish, kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of Mormons.
I mean,
Although to be
could
fair,
we
I
look it up
don't.
and learn about it? No,
No, it's impossible. That's the sad part.
that's the really hard part that we didn't struggle to get through.
Well,
Okay,
let's
so
get into it because
Salt Lake City.
yeah.
Um, you go first because
Well,
I'm
Marshall, I think my opinions on this premiere are a lot more positive than yours.
yeah.
I texted you a lot while I was watching it, just quotes that would
In
make no sense to someone who hasn't seen it yet.
in all caps.
All caps, yeah. And then you never get back to me. For the record, Marshall is not a great texter backer in any way.
I don't know phone. I don't
And it's just
understand.
you have to learn just not take it personally. Like when I first met Marshall, I was like, he hates me. And now I just know that's his way. He's a prick.
This is everyone has says this says hey, when I first met you, I thought you fucking hated me. Anyway,
Whatever.
so you had
Anyway,
positive
enough
thoughts. You
shitting on my friend Marshall.
you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I think it was a mix between the kind of pageantry that the pageantry of Dallas. The pageantry of Dallas and like the religion
Okay.
of Dallas with the glam of Beverly Hills, where the dash of Potomac shoved in there up the wazoo. Okay, and I loved it. I'm thrilled. I have many opinions about these women. I'm already falling in love with them. And you know what the best part about it is? On this show, there are a bunch of weirdos. And I think that's primarily why I tune into Housewives. Weirdos, aging women who won't accept that they're aging. And it's just some fucked up psychology, you know? Like Mary is not well. Mary is not well in her head, and I want to explore that.
Oh, Mary. Okay, I genuinely perked up when she came on screen. First of all, because I was like, this is a Mad TV character. Second of all,
You know what? Actually, I thought that. I
I
thought she kind
know,
of gave me
I
Deborah
know.
Wilson as
Full
Whitney
on,
Houston
full
vibes.
on. But she also, not just that, but she came in, switched on, and turned up. Like, this is a sleepy town. She hasn't slept in 48 hours.
Did you write that down? Is that a joke you prepared?
No. Nothing is written down. We'll get to the notes. We will get to the notes.
Well, why don't we go? I think in the order that they were introduced. I made a Google Doc. Let's start with Jen Shaw.
Well, hang on. I'm just pouring a drink, and I need to make note of it because I feel like it will be heard.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my! For the record, he is pissing. He is pissing in a cup.
Okay, Jen. Let's talk
Jen.
about Jen.
And why don't you tell the good people at home, the thousands of our listeners, what are you drinking tonight, Marshall?
Oh, this is vodka Diet Coke. I used to call it an anemic bitch, which is just a ton of vodka and a splash of Diet Coke.
There you
Now
go.
it's a dead bitch.
I have a. Let me see here. Caletta Vineyards, Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot, and it's fine. It was $8. And actually, did you know? Nah, never mind. I'm not going to get into this. I was going to go off about did you know that in America wine is so much cheaper? Because in Canada, we're in
Oh,
Toronto, by the way.
it
It's
is
like
so
$8
fucking
is
cheap.
such a fucking steal, and
You
apparently it's
don't
quite cheap
even
down there.
understand the outrageous prices you are paying for wine here. I'm from
What
New
do they
Zealand.
pay? Yeah, we knew that. We
Hence
know.
the mango. No, they might be like, this accent doesn't make sense. It has no home. But the prices are outrageous here for piss. For piss. Sorry, I'm popping my peas, but it's worth popping a pissy
What are you
fucking
talking
wine.
about? What are you talking about? Piss.
Wine. Piss. Like it's urine.
Oh.
Yeah. Ocean trash. NZD. New Zealand dollar. Why is that? Why does that matter? Why do you need to bring that up?
Okay.
So Jen, I
Jen.
just jumped into my notes and I have 2 words written. And
What?
together it's problematic. Separately, like it made sense, but it's Tongan! Exclamation mark. Now, context for that is I was like, Tongan, yes, Pacifica, come on. And then underneath it is AIDS. And that is
Right.
because that is the first thing she went to when talking to her children and instructing them not to have sex.
Right.
But
She said, don't kiss a girl because you might get herpes or AIDS.
yeah, I really want to. Can we edit that out? Because I genuinely jumped into my docs and was like,
No, it's fine. She's the one who
together,
said it.
together, no, but because I did want to talk about Tongan.
Okay, talk about Tongan further. I'm not editing it out. You know I can't do that.
You have hands. You know how the grin you have on your fucking face. Okay, Jen, who, how am I going first about this? But whatever. Jen, in retrospect, villain, it seems, in my opinion. But
Wants to be the villain, though, I think. Wants to be the queen. Wants to be the LVP.
Yeah. Which I was wondering midway through the episode. I was like, okay, who's gunning for LVP here? But in the bright and summer early days of the episode, the first few minutes of my eating gin, that's the New Zealand way to say it. Tongan. I was super pumped to see Tongan. I'm from New Zealand. My upbringing was surrounded by Pacifica, Tongan, Samoan, Fijian, whatever, Cook Islander. So I was like, yes, queen, until she flew some Tongan dancers into her party who were very clearly not Tongan.
Did she claim that she flew them in?
She said, I flew in some Tongan dancers, and it was a pastiche of non-Tongans. But no, she strikes me as the central plot star, which is okay. All right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, there's a part of me that I like Jen so far. She's obviously an idiot, as most of these people are on these shows. But
Sorry,
that's neither here nor there.
I know we're jumping around here, but Jen's assistant,
Stu.
Stuart.
He is 2 bitchy orders away from driving that car straight into traffic.
Is he bitchy? We
from
assume...
him, no, from her. She's a bitch.
yes. I was gonna say I have never seen a softer homosexual.
So patient.
Yeah, and how did this happen? We already slowly accepted Karen's assistant. Let's say,
what was his name?
Kevin.
Was that the white guy? That random white guy?
I've tried to find him on Instagram multiple times. But just a soft white man who has no identity whatsoever, driving around in a Porsche, organizing events.
It really turns me off when people with money treat their people like shit. Their assistants and the people serving them, and then they go, they love me.
And Jen is no stranger to that.
Oh no, Jen sucks.
Oh God.
It's a Jen Shaw party.
I can't. And here's the thing: I thought that we had jumped the shark on these fucking parties. I really thought that we would.
I was actually quite impressed with the level of
hanging
money.
white drapes.
Well, she made a tunnel. I was impressed by the tunnel.
And also,
I was like, "There's no way she'll make a tunnel."
What did that floral photographer's wall say? What the fuck did that say? It was Shaw Chalet. So when you take the photo, you walk in.
It was the Shaw Chalet.
Yeah, and Meredith Brooks, as I'm calling them, came in. And
no, that's very good, Marshall. No, you say that again, and you say it with pride this time. You can still flip it in.
I'll be saying this again and again because this is the duo we've been waiting for. Meredith Brooks.
What a bit in Brooks.
I'm a bitch. I'm a mother. I'm a gay mother. Taking this photo at this floral wall that doesn't say anything. And also, by the way, Meredith's face when she enters that party. Okay, sorry, I'm jumping around. Okay, so that's Jen. Yeah,
we
tolerate
Jen.
One
more thing about I want to say one more thing about Jen. It took her 5 years into her marriage to a black man to realize that Mormons were racist.
Oh my god. Like, and also, who just walks into Mormonism? Like,
No,
who just
I think she was
grabs a
born into it.
pamphlet?
I think she was born into it,
Mm.
Jen. I think she was. I think you're talking about the worst person in the world, and that's a great segue. Fucking Lisa.
Oh, okay. So I have notes for like most people. Lisa, I just have one line.
What?
Jack and Henry are some boring fucking names, and then in caps lock, don't like her.
Jack and Henry are her boys' names?
Yeah, boring fucking boys' names.
I would say that that's the most likable thing about her. I like those names.
Good, strong male name.
She is Lohan voiced garbage. I really don't like her. She's just there to be bitchy. That's her thing.
I'm trying to. So
Yeah.
again, it's just don't like her, but like I'm trying to pick her out in a lineup.
Okay, well, this is the issue. So she looks exactly like Meredith to the point where one of them
mean,
are gonna
sure,
need to get bangs because I don't know who's who.
Well, no one's getting bangs. This is my only understanding of women is that they will not get bangs. But who is she? We don't know. Will we?
She
know?
got a bunch of junk food. She's a born again Mormon. That's what made me go. What?
Oh yes, that was
She's
the moment.
Jewish by birth, Mormon by choice, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
it should be the opposite.
Really fucked up. but that now I'm remembering the waltz into the Wendy's drive-through and going, we're crazy. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and it's like, and then she also went to school with Heather Gay, who we'll talk about later.
Okay, yeah.
And
we'll save it. We'll save it.
And pretended that she didn't remember her from those times. But then, in the same breath, inferred that she was a good time girl. So you can't have it both ways, hon.
Should we just jump to Heather?
Let's go to Heather because that's literally all I have to say about Lisa.
Okay, because if we're talking
I like
about,
Heather. I really like Heather already.
If we're talking about, who's the grande dame and all that, I suppose Heather is pitched to us as that. Now, is she that? Yet to be seen.
I think that Jen's being pitched to us. We opened on Jen. She is the
no. Jen is the, but it's kind of like a Potomac situation where you have a Karen and then you have a Giselle. I feel like Heather is the Giselle. Sure, I feel like I'm simplifying it here, but I love Heather, and I didn't think I would because her first lines, which I wrote down because I went, uh-oh, loves black men and homosexuals. The way that fell out of her mouth made me uncomfortable.
Also, she likes black men, rap music, and homosexuals. And that's giving me shades of the Real Housewives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, of New York, calling homosexual men the gays or my gay or she based on none of their preferred pronouns.
Clunky. Sharp ending.
She's trying. She's old and she's trying.
Yeah, and here's what I will say: you can see as I guess the episode goes on, there is a kind of her whole thing with being the not remembered by the other one.
Oh, she's deeply insecure. You can tell.
Yes, and so I think that's very.
And honestly, let's be real. You cannot see me, but I am a curvy woman, and Heather Gay is a curvy woman, and there's you carry that around with you, especially in I think if I was on a show like Real Housewives. You feel a little bit like that Lisa thinks she's hot. Going to these drive-thrus and not eating but eating. Nice try. But with Heather, she definitely has some insecurities. And in fact, I very cruelly referred to her in my notes initially as the linebacker blonde.
Oh my God.
But that's horrible because and now I'm like, you know what? Good for her. Good for women with broad shoulders. I like her.
That's a very valid point.
I like her. And she has Howard Hughes connections through her ex-husband.
Yes. Next thing written down under loves black men and homosexuals. Howard Hughes, question mark, exclamation point. Also, just in general, my body twitches when I hear someone be like, I am a proud descendant of pioneers. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
Are we just going to gloss over the Howard Hughes? What was that about?
I guess so. I mean, it was... So she was married to like the Gay family who were the big time Mormons and they were the Howard Hughes ones. And I guess she's divorced and she owns like, here's the thing. I hate to do this, But whenever a Real Housewives comes on the show and is like, my business is flourishing. Oh, did that just break the mic? Jesus. my business, my business is flourishing. You gotta take a second and go, okay, is this divorce money? Is this bullshit? What is this?
Oh,
Or is this real?
when I'm assuming Lisa question mark listed off those alcohol brands.
Mm.
I have so many alcohol brands. We've got Thrust, Drip, Stones, Rock Piss, just and like as if she was like she was shaking when she was saying these brands.
Oh, she's very cocky. I really don't like Lisa. And oh my God, I just realized we got the Vanderpump, we got the Rinna, and now we got the last name I can't remember, but we got another Lisa.
You know last names?
I don't know. I don't know the only one I know is Heather Gay, Jen Shaw, and Mary Cosby because her last name is Cosby.
Okay, well,
finally a Cosby I can get behind.
and yet to be seen. Yet to be seen. Okay, Meredith Brooks.
I don't think her last name is okay. No,
her
the
son's
joke.
name
It's
is
the joke.
Brooks.
That's okay. That's
Her-
the joke.
yes, her son name is Brooks.
He's joking, everyone. So I like Meredith, I think, but again, it's hard for me to tell her apart from her other Jewish brunette Kyle Richards lookalike, Lisa.
Yeah, I will say, like, in the last third of the episode, I was really getting them all mixed up. But on the outset, some of them really, really stood out. Meredith, one of them.
But she's the one who looks exactly like Lisa.
Yes,
But I like her attitude.
I met her before Lisa.
Yeah, I know, and so my allegiance is to Meredith.
And Meredith only. Lisa shall be sacrificed. Bit of a Drew Barrymore drawl, which I found very strange.
Oh yeah, a little. Well, do you know what? She has that Chicago accent a little. Not that Drew
That what it
Barrymore is
is?
known for a Chicago accent, but no, she has quite the Chicago accent. And her husband, who is clearly going to leave her as the season progresses,
my
the Chicago
God,
guy.
He was mid-tears. Like, what? And again, this is already seen in the trailers, but like,
Yeah.
that is just. I mean, how did these producers find these people so easily? Someone who walks up with their hands shaking, being like, "I'll be on a TV show. How's your marriage? Great." Like, what?
Jules Weinstein,
Oh,
Camille Grammer.
all of them.
Yeah. So her marriage to the Chicago business guy is clearly going to crumble. And she was actually pissed at him when he made that joke about being undersexed in the confessional. She was pissed. She was hurt.
There's a reason they made that the first confessional.
Oh yeah. But I think I think like it's quite clear what we need to talk about with Meredith, and that is her
What they produced.
Brooks.
One Brooks.
I love that she has 3 kids. She has 3 kids.
He doesn't know who Prince is. We'll say that. But sorry, keep going.
He's 20. I think he's
I
21.
know, but it rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you
Yeah, well,
saw Naomi Smalls rock at Prince Runway Look.
You know we watched. You know we watched.
You know we did.
So
sorry.
I like how thank you for apologizing.
And that's our relationship. We're very,
You know that when Meredith was like, I have 3 kids, this bitch, she's 25, this little bastard is 23, and then there's Brooks, who's taking a semester off college to clearly film Bravo and become a gay icon.
I didn't put that together.
Oh my God. As if, like, Marshall, if your mom was like, I'm going to be on a New
wardrobes
Zealand...
ready. I would have a storyline. I would have friends that I'm not even that close to in high school, bring them into the fucking, the fray. Absolutely.
And he knows exactly what he's doing. He's being whiny. He's giving us...
He's droll. He's droll.
He's not even special.
He's Niles to everyone else's Frasier.
He's just saying things in a whiny tone, and he's young, and he wants to be famous, and that's good enough for me.
Well, that's the thing. I think I wrote some of the things he said down, and they're not jokes. They're not statements. They're not sass.
What are they? What do you have there?
Okay, I actually don't. I lied, but it's things like. But I just maybe because I didn't want to write it down because I was like, it's like, oh look, there's water on site. Like, it wasn't. I mean, he did say like,
wait, there's so many cows.
Yeah.
And then they saw a paw print on the ground. He's like, that's like a bear.
Also, they were very perplexed by this paw print.
Well, they're Chicago born and bred babies.
Okay, so they don't know whether human or bear, because human was thrown out. as an option.
They're little.
Human was one of the first options that was
Oh
optioned.
no. Oh
Also,
no.
I mean, I really signed up for the bullshit when the dad said that his son would go viral if he was eaten by a bear.
Yeah, I liked it too. You know why? Here's the thing. I like that husband, which means he's out of there. Because
I like him
anytime I think
too.
a husband is okay, and this is not
Yeah.
including, actually, no, this is not true. But anytime I
Maurizio
kind of,
aside.
okay, for example, Emily's husband, Shane on,
Okay, I'm interested in
I
what you're
know
gonna
you like
say.
it. Well,
I love
I
him.
kind of liked Shane off the top because he was just like a little weasel who was just saying sarcastic shit.
He's
And
funny. Also, he's
well,
Mormon, is he not?
yeah, actually, now that you say it,
Do I love Mormon?
uh,
So sorry, you were
yeah.
saying you love Shane. No, you
No,
hate
I
Shane.
don't love Shane. I hate Shane now. Basically, no, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying that I am always wrong with first impressions on television, with people in my own life. So
You
I'm,
make you I will say this, you make big judgment calls.
I'm a
Huge, swinging from the rafters judgment calls about
someone's
people.
not just annoying, they're evil.
Honestly, like a hair could fly from their head and hit her wrong, and she is on the offense.
But then I can change my mind and I can admit I was wrong.
Oh, also in a dime.
It's alcohol related too. I'll like have 2 drinks and I'm like, you know what? I love her now.
It's a lot of, can you believe that bitch last night? And I'm like, oh, how she was very kind to you and offered a lot of compliments. Ah, you know
Well,
what? She's my
you're right.
bridesmaid.
Well, this is the issue, Marshall. I think I'm a good person, but when I think someone's an how dare you? When I think someone's an asshole, I get very angry and I am filled with rage towards them.
Mhm.
Once I am proven wrong, the heart opens.
It's a little, I mean, I could be wrong, but it strikes me as a little big Stewart energy. Stewart
Okay, so
meaning.
Stuart is my father, not just the assistant of Jen.
Is there any crossover there? Is there
My
any
father,
crossover?
I don't know, maybe Stuart, my father, is an extreme gentleman.
He is? Oh, you mean extreme. Emphasis on extreme and then
No,
lower.
it's either he hates you or
Okay.
he loves you. There's no in between. And he's gonna yell either way.
Okay. So Meredith Brooks.
To be young
Meredith
again.
Brooks and the family that cannot identify wildlife.
Oh, I want to say one thing about Brooks because I wrote it down.
Mhm.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, get ready for this amazing joke. Do you know what? It's shit now. You know,
Oh, God,
the
there's a
Real House.
character?
You know, here's the deal. You know, the Real Housewives doesn't have a great track record of people named Brooks, but I'm willing to change my mind.
Can I tell you a secret?
What? Did you think the same thing?
I have not watched any of the Brooks seasons of OC.
Oh,
I've watched before and I've watched after. So, you know.
So, you know. Well,
Um,
Marshall, those are my favorite seasons. Detective Megan King Edmonds. Megan King Edmonds? Is that her name?
okay, yeah, I can.
MKE? Yeah.
I'm tempted to watch because I really, to me, Megan is nothing. So I'd like to see her rise to the occasion. Anyway, Whitney.
Okay, so now here's
Who
the
is
thing.
Whitney?
I love Whitney already. Here's one of my weird ones.
Is this a cast
love
member?
Whitney.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Whitney's the little baby voice one who says, "This
Oh.
Rose isn't scared to handle a little prick."
And her dad is Pete Wentz.
I wrote Billy Joe
Oh.
Billy Joe Osmond. Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day fame.
Which, I mean, it's one of those things where like that pops up on your screen. We have these throughout any of the Housewives franchises, but that pops up on your screen and you go, okay, we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to have to bookmark
Yeah.
that for later because they're not talking about it.
And then in
And
the
then
preview, you see
yeah.
that he has a drug
Has
addiction.
a drug addiction because of course he does because he's
It's too
living
bad.
in the 90s.
So Whitney is giving me very Stephanie Holman
Oh,
from
I
Dallas.
am in on Whitney.
A
Absolutely.
little Tinsley-esque as well.
Why'd
She's
you
been
just ruin it
excommunicated
like
from the
that?
church. She had a torrid office love affair with this schmo.
With a real schmo.
A
Schmopey,
real-
schmopey, schmo.
This Rose isn't scared to handle a little prick.
Is she saying her husband has a tiny penis?
That's
Her
the
last name is
only-
Rose.
That is the only way to translate that.
It's true. I liked her. I will say her marriage is doomed because we opened on her removal. her vow. Her vow. I'm sorry, I've had 3 glasses of this disgusting wine. Vow renewal.
Which was confusing.
Because the editors got all like winky. And they're like,
Yeah,
"Your
I was
wedding,
like,
joking."
yeah, hopefully we'll tighten that up in future episodes.
Not like our perfect production over here at Trashbox.
Yeah, a very perplexing person. Actually, probably one of the ones I'm most interested in, because if you're excommunicated from a church,
Ooh, you're badass.
we gotta talk. You gotta
She
sit down.
was the one who her ancestors were was it Joseph Smith's bodyguard, and Joseph Smith is like not just the guy who founded the religion, but the prophet. They're Jesus. Like
Which
her
I'm like,
her
I-
ancestors was like Jesus's bud.
which I have questions, but I don't want answers, if that makes sense.
live your fantasy,
Thank
Marshall.
you.
I liked her, and I
Ah.
also like when she met Mary. She goes,
Are your leggings yellow?
she dropped the G.
Yeah,
on
also,
leggings.
what is that friendship? Like, that doesn't seem like a friendship.
Well, you know what though? I watched a couple clips from Watch What Happens Live, and they had the whole cast on of Salt Lake City. Andy had the whole cast
Ooh.
on, and let's just say, when you have 6 women in a Zoom session, it's a fucking mess. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of talking over each other. It was Mary and Jen like just snapping at each other the whole time, like they truly hate each other. And then there was a question that Andy asks, "Who is the biggest?" He didn't say shit stir, but pot stir or soup stir, whatever the hell the thing is. It's not
Okay,
soup stir. And a bunch of them said Whitney. So methinks there is
Ooh.
more than meets the eye.
But I would argue that you can be a pot stirrer and still come out with your hands clean, Giselle. But no.
Giselle's not clean. And we'll get into that later because we are going to cover Potomac.
Okay.
Not as involved as we are getting
But
into.
suffice to
Sully's.
say, we stand,
Suffices
we
to say.
stand Whitney. Suffices to say, we stand Whitney. I stand Whitney.
Oh, I don't think I can say Stan.
I know.
in a
Okay,
very
I am coming out the
serious
gate strong. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't. That's not fair to the other women.
I like Whitney. I think that there's potential with Whitney.
And you know
I
what
like
is
her
it?
little baby voice.
I think I have a soft spot for Stephanie from
Oh.
Dallas.
My cat's coming in here. Oh, Connie, don't. My cat's gonna walk on the laptop.
It's just so everyone knows who's listening. Her cat is a psychopath with an app.
My cat is Bob. His name is Bob, and he is obsessed with wires.
Full name.
Bob Sacamano. And he it's not that funny, believe me. I've said it to people waiting for a reaction, and they're just like,
And there's
"No."
0 reaction.
Anyway, he's gone back to sleep. We're okay. Immediately.
Sleep, bitch. He's waiting. He's biding his time.
Okay, so then they were saving Mary for us. She didn't get introduced until halfway through the episode.
It really did seem like, you guys still filming? Oh, yeah. Here comes Wendy.
You got
Wendy?
room
Did I
for
say
one more.
Wendy? Her name's not Wendy, is it? No,
Who's
Mary.
Wendy.
I was
Oh,
thinking
Wendy's
we're in
Potomac.
Potomac still.
So Mary, what is to say? It says something when her marrying her grandfather is one of the least interesting things about her.
Right. We briskly moved past that.
Mhm.
This wasn't in, was this in the trailer? I don't,
Okay, so Marsh, I wrote an article for Delisted. Let me type it in here, and I got the whole dirt on this. Okay, so here is the backstory. So
What
go to
dirt.
delisted.com.
It's in the headline.
Yes, but there's a lot going on with this. Okay. How do I go to this? Emily. Wait, no, I'm just typing in my own name to the search bar. Delisted Mary. Okay, here we are. Okay, so Mary.
Which I would argue both of us do often because of our age and
Emily.
stupidity.
Okay, so Mary Cosby. Okay. Her grandmother was Dr. Rosemary Redmond Cosby. She died in 1997 at the age of 65. She left a widower, Robert, now Mary's husband, and Robert is 20 years her junior. So he married Mary the very next year, who was 24, and he was around 46. So yes, that is a May December romance, but it is not grandfather age. I will give him that. Okay. So
okay, but
apparently,
that's not the part that disturbed me, though.
what, the grandfather part?
No, sorry. No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, so basically what happened was Dr. Rosemary was the founder of Faith Temple Pentecostal Church in Salt Lake City. Very big deal. She had a ton of businesses. She had restaurants, churches, and she left them all unclaimed along with her fortune. And I guess she said, this is fucked up. I guess she said, if anything, well, we learned this from the episode. If anything happens to me, I want you to marry one of my girls. And I don't know why the fuck she said that. That's a really weird thing to say as you're passing away. And basically what the thing is, once Mary married Robert, she got control of her fortune she kept in the family. I don't know. But there were a bunch of lawsuits after from from the dead grandmother, Rosemary. A bunch of lawsuits from her daughter, Rosalind Cazares, who accused her stepdaughter, who accused her stepfather, Robert, sorry, I'm getting really confused. They all start with R. Robert, of forging documents to control her mom's assets, fraud, and she thought he killed her. And so she actually had Mary's grandmother's body exhumed. So they turned out it was just a heart attack, but she thought it was a murder.
Oh my.
So it's a fucking
God.
mess. Yeah. And half of the family and Rosalind, who's Mary's aunt, left the church, and half of the congregants, is that what they're called? People who go to church, left with her in a show of solidarity. So it's a mess.
There is a lot of like bold decisions in churches. They can, yeah. Oh my! I mean, well, the thing for me though was that seemed kind of brushed under the rug was, yes, he's my grandfather. Yes, he's like much older than me, but my grandmother told me that it would be so. Like, that was the part that I was like, no. Ah, grandchild, whom I love and cherish, you shall marry my husband.
It's crazy. And like he skipped a full generation. When she was like, marry one of my girls, you'd think he'd pick one of her girls.
But if you have the pick of the litter.
Yeah, you'd pick Mary. Okay, so Mary, I mean, what do we say about Mary? She's crazy. What?
No, sorry. Keep saying. Finish your thoughts on Mary.
Well, I think that I want to hear whatever that gasp was about. I don't have anything.
Okay, well, this might just be like me screaming into the wind. But who is the knockoff Vanderpump Rules Raquel bopping around looking for a coat check? The one who comes in and is like, "Happy birthday" to Jen, and she's like, "It's not my birthday." Who the
Sarah.
fuck was that? Did I miss the
Sarah.
name label?
Happy birthday to you. Wait. Oh shit.
And again,
her name is Sarah.
Okay.
Her name is Sarah. She obviously wants a snowflake because they have snowflakes, right? That's their diamonds, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you said. Okay. She wants an apple.
Yeah.
She wants a snowflake.
She wants an apple. She wants a snowflake. She wants a peach. She wants a star. And she is everything I've ever wanted in anything.
And again, I have an affinity towards a Raquel.
Who is Raquel? What are you talking about?
Raquel is James Kennedy's girlfriend from Vanderpump Rules.
See, I only watched the first few seasons of Vanderpump Rules, and I had to stop because it was hurting my eyes.
This will come across as very mean, but somehow it is endearment and pure, unadulterated love.
Mm-hmm.
She is the dumbest person that has ever been on television in the history of television.
Marshall, do you think we're come off as mean people on this podcast?
I think we'll come across as saviors, women, and icons.
Well, I'll give it to you.
Okay, but again, if you watch Vanderpump Rules, and I mean, don't, it's terrible, but if you did.
I liked the first few seasons. I just didn't take to it like something.
I enjoy a level of dumb that's like, there's no, even if you roll back footage of her, people making fun of her, she wouldn't know.
Yeah, she wouldn't know it.
She wouldn't know. Anyway, if this Sarah is indeed gunning for a snowflake, then sure, let's do it. Game on.
Or make her the Marlo. Make her a recurring character.
Yes, please.
Okay, so back to Mary. She's a wiry little devil, and she has a kind of a squirrely way of moving.
Wiry.
Wiry, yeah. And did you know that wiry is spelled W-I-R-Y, and there's no E in there? And I really thought there was. But there you go. And I love that she, first of all, hospital smell. It's everything.
Hospital smell.
It's everything.
If this turns out to be the storyline of the season, then I will be upset.
I don't think it will be because I think these women have more to give. I don't think it is a Lucy
That
apple
said,
juice
that said,
bullshit
it is
Beverly Hills thing.
much better than a loosey goosey apple juicy.
Oh, it's much better.
To
Hospital
say
smell?
you smell like hospital, and to rebut my aunt's legs were being chopped off. We're cooking with gas here. We're cooking with
No,
gas.
my aunt's legs were chopped off. They didn't say chopped off, amputated.
What did I say?
You just said chopped off like it was like the Civil War.
They were bum. They were bum legs.
She goes, my aunt is like my mother. And then Mary goes, well, what do you want me to do? And Jen goes, not say you smell like hospital when she gets her legs removed. And then cut to Mary saying, well, what am I supposed to do with that? And then doubling down on the leg amputation thing.
She
and
didn't
saying,
double down. She triple fucking quadrupled down.
She was like, who's getting their legs amputated at 60? Eat healthier. Drink some water.
Drink water. Hey, nation, if you find your legs be done chopped off, drink an Aquafina.
It's insane. Also, her trauma for the hospital smell thing was getting her odor glands removed.
Oh, see, now I was curious about this.
So they're on Watch What Happens. They got into it a little bit, and Andy was like, "So you got your odor glands removed? What was what was that about?" And she goes, "Yes, autoimmune, blah blah blah. They were giving me boils, and they lost me twice on the table. I think it's a load of bullshit."
See, this I enjoy. This I enjoy. Someone who comes in, guns fucking blazing, and says,
and
how dare you come for me because I said that you smell like a fucking hospital. You don't know what darkness I harbor. You don't know what goes on in the nights when I try and fucking sleep. She had her odor glands removed?
Yeah, you would have thought, like, my mother went through a long illness. I was there for a year. But the nice part about the hospital smell is that it's visceral. You know what that
Oh, I
smells
smelled
like.
that smell. When she
It's
said it, I smelled
urine
it.
and
Yeah.
chemical. I was a teenage candy striper, which 'cause for some reason I
Come again?
wanted to be a candy stripper, like a
No,
hospital
I'm
volunteer.
I'm not from here.
It's like a teen
not from
hospital
here.
volunteer.
Okay. Ooh.
I don't know why. I think I wanted to be a doctor despite being terrible at science. I think I just wanted to be there for the drama, to be honest. I was like, life and death, I'll be there.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, an old man on his deathbed exposed himself to me. So you live.
So.
Anyway, but that smell is something else. So anyway, I don't know. It's something. It's
yeah. I mean, okay, Mary.
the
I
party
guess
was amazing.
okay, Mary. I guess the thing is, she's doubling down, and that's who her character is.
I think she's a sociopath. Clearly, I mean,
Yeah.
when I first met her, I was like, "Oh, I like her jacket. She's nice." And then she opened her mouth, and I was like, "Never mind."
Well, let's not discount Jen here because
Jen is also a different kind of evil, though.
yeah. What a shame. The two women of color pitted against each other over.
Well, they are the stars, though. They are the stars.
Well, I mean, I did not. Mary came out of nowhere.
I love Mary. I mean,
I'm
know
intrigued.
I know she's a bad human, but like, I really like her.
She's what the show needs.
unapologetic.
Yeah.
She's what they need. She's unapologetic. She sat down. All she needed to say was, "Hey."
But here's the thing with these franchises, though, is like, you get so you get someone who's a little chaotic, but then you get the chaos that comes with it. So hopefully
What
it
are you
works
talking
out.
about?
Well, like what's her name from Dallas?
Leanne. I knew you were going to say
these-
Leanne.
these
but it's
ha-
Dallas.
what is it?
These hands.
These hands were knives. Whatever.
These
Yeah.
hands. They're not just hands. They're
And,
knives.
I mean, whatever. We said it over and over again in a gay bar.
Yeah,
for,
we did.
for seasons. Or like who would you call chaotic on Beverly Hills? I guess it's
I mean,
Camille. Ooh.
not kinda. That's the issue. Brandy's pure chaos.
Or like Amalo.
Oh, I love
You
her.
know, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I will say, okay. So the party. Let's talk about the party, and then let's move on to Potomac because we are way too long in the
I
tooth.
don't know what we need to talk about with the party.
Well, the party
it
was
was
tacky.
white. They had some. It was so gay. Like, how was it?
I did
this
like the male
gay?
stripper servers.
It feels like
we
they
would've
see
had
gay
fun.
from the outside. I don't know.
We would have had fun at that party, though, Marshall. We would have got so tanked.
I argue against that because
What, you don't think we would have?
it looked like a party where I'm saying this as a gay person.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the eyes on me. I could feel that I am not in my homeland. There's
Yeah.
there's a little vibe of that, and it's not the party; it's the the party goers.
Because they would exoticize you, right?
I'm
They
sorry,
would
say that again.
exoticize you. They would
Oh
other you,
yes,
right?
I thought you were trying to
Um,
like say exonerate, but I was like, they'll exonerate me.
Finally. Yeah, because they're rich. They're rich. Then we have to remember all of these are one percenter,
Those
one
fucking
percenters or
those
1% or
shirtless
more.
guys who like one of them with like hands a fucking sweaty peanut meatball to Jen, and she's like, "Oh, it's my cousin." Oh no,
What was that?
my nephew.
Oh yeah. Also, and then that was discarded immediately.
Yeah.
And then whose cousins? Heather Gay is cousins with Whitney. Yes, Whitney and Heather are cousins.
Yeah, because Whitney was
And
removed from the church. Also, when they had that shot, I mean, we're jumping around, but that shot with
we can jump
Whitney
around.
at her wedding, and it was like just the ankles on the
The
stairwell, and I
cousin,
was like, okay, so they're including this footage. Yeah, the
because it was
cousin.
very. It was like I didn't think it would last 10 years. That's a very rude thing
Oh
to
my
say. First of
god!
all,
I mean,
it's
this
very like it's weird.
she will be the heart of the season.
I think I really like Whitney. I think she's the Stephanie Holman / Tinsley. And you know how I feel about Tinsley, Marshall. I love her. I love her. I love her. You know, she's such a
You love
sweet little
Tinsley?
dummy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
Tinsley.
I have a
And I
soft,
miss Dale.
I have a soft spot, and that's disgusting.
Oh,
So before we go to Potomac, though,
yeah.
just a couple things. I'm glancing at things that I wrote down.
Now, Marshall, no, go on, go on. I was just going to say, before we started this podcast, I was raving about Salt Lake City, and you were a little less into it. And part of me is, yes, I really enjoyed it. I love the hospital smell. I love meeting all these new women and making guesses as to who they are, and like I will be proven wrong. But also, I think I really wanted it to be great because the pandemic has been a really hard time, and like what do we have coming up? Like, I mean, what's on right now? OC. We're nearing the end of Potomac. I want something great, and I wanted it to be good. So,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Well, that's kind. I mean, I'm kind of in the same situation. I Beverly Hills is fucking Beverly Hills. You know what I
Oh, it's
mean?
terrible. It's such a fucking bad.
Atlanta's like spinning at wheels. OC, I cannot watch. I cannot watch.
No, it's terrible. And this is coming from a woman who used to love Kelly Dodd.
Oh,
Love.
God, oh God, oh God.
I know it. The egg is on my face.
New York still forever stands. But yeah, so coming into it, I was like, I don't know. And watching it, I was like, I don't know. But dissecting it, I'm like, okay, I'm here for whatever Whitney's like past is. I'm here for.
You opening with Whitney as the pros.
I just think like family cuts deep, right? And
Yeah.
this is gonna be the deepest, I think. Mary versus
First
Jen,
one.
whatever. You always need those characters.
Yeah.
And Heather Gay, hopefully we'll slip it on a banana peel and.
And also, you know what? Heather Gay's last name is Gay.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that enough.
Well, we don't need to.
Well,
So
now
here's
you've made me out to be homophobic.
I think that would be me saying less time for homosexuality. So stray thoughts. Carrie, the woman who Mary beckons over. Who is Carrie is a great question.
Oh, Carrie, the one who had to settle the fight
So
about the hospital smell?
Jen and Mary getting into it like, you smell like a hospital. No, you smell like a hospital. And
Yep,
and Mary
that's what it
says,
was.
well, let's get it together. Carrie, fucking Carrie, come over here. Like motions to this like lovely looking woman from a distance. Brings her in, is like, Carrie, did I not say it? And Carrie, like mid-sentence, cuts her off and is like, absolutely, I said it.
Yeah.
Comes in
And then Mary's
guns
like,
blazing.
who asked you? How
And then
dare you?"
immediately, why are you in this fight? Get the fuck out of our fight.
Oh my
But
God.
that I've
Like-
never seen a person on Housewives so immediately ready to say, yeah, I said it. I fucking said it.
She was ready to go. Guns
Very
a-blazing.
Lugosi,
And I do respect is a big word. I was going to say I respect Mary. In no way do I respect Mary. But I enjoy that Mary in no way would not apologize for a truly mean thing that she said.
Yeah, a classic Housewives villain trope.
But like not even, and she couldn't even throw a "I'm sorry if you were offended," which is a non-apology, yes,
Yeah.
but she couldn't even do that. It's fascinating. Open your mind. Let me study your mind.
And here's how I feel. If you don't apologize for it in the moment, or at least like 10 minutes later, then that apology's not coming out. You know what I mean? It's very like
No.
Monique. It's like
Oh, that's
yeah,
a great
it's very yes.
segue.
Okay, well let's talk about Potomac. They're on their official mid-season
I
vacation
love it.
where they allocate random woman X into being the organizer for said
Oh.
trip to Nigeria? Question mark, says Wendy.
Oh. No, Wendy didn't think it was Nigeria.
I was
Someone else
confused by
did.
that whole yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
wanna
can
say
this
one
whole
thing. I
podcast
wanna
just be
say-
like, okay, no,
Okay.
Can I talk?
Whereas.
yeah, wear thin.
What's my point? Oh, Ashley was the leader of the trip, and we got Ashley's planning of the trip in therapy as though it was going to be some part of her getting over her postpartum depression. I love it.
Listen, I know that this is the first episode, and we've talked for a long time, and we're heading towards the end, and we're supposed to just touch on Potomac, but I just want
I
to
have
talk.
things to say.
I
Yeah,
just
know.
want to talk about Ashley for a minute.
It's such a good season, and I love Ashley so much.
I mean,
She's so pretty.
Potomac is the one. It is the one. Ashley is like very rarely do you get TV characters that engage you in such a way where you're indifferent, then you love them, then you hate them. Then I really.
That's true about Ashley. Yeah,
I love her, and I think.
And she's married to a assaulter. She's married to a.
Just call it what it is in Australian.
What? Oh.
That's a New Zealand joke against an Australian.
Marshall doesn't like Australians. Sorry to all this.
No. Marshall doesn't like. It's not Marshall doesn't like Australians. Australians are shite. Fact.
Well, it's like I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
do they have
New
salty skin and
Zealand-
lovely dicks? Yes.
New Zealand is to Australia as Canada is to America. We have our issues.
Ergo, whereby, wherein, wherewithal.
Whereas, exactly.
I like Ashley.
I
really
like
do.
her so much.
And you know why? Because I respect any woman, any person who is willing to put their entire life on television in the way that she does.
Yes,
And-
the opposite of the Erica Jane. The opposite. Oh, by the way, we have to talk about Erica Jane and Tom.
Do we?
Nah, whatever. Okay,
I
we
really
get
don't
it.
give
He's
I
over.
don't give a fuck.
Okay,
Like
moving on.
it's just not non-surprising and like whatever.
Well, it made my election day, but let's move on.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we can. Now we're really in a kind of. I mean,
No, let's move on. It's fine. It's fine. The people know.
I just love her. There's so much darkness, and I don't think that
There's a lot
she
of darkness.
knows. I don't think she knows where she's navigating. I don't think she knows that she is truly putting it out there, and I don't think she knows how far it's going to go. And I think it's going to go all the way.
Think she does know. I think Ashley
I think she knows
is
some
a lot
things.
sharper than
Yes,
we give
I'm
her
not saying
credit
I'm
for.
not saying she's not sharp, but I think in terms of like her parents and her family history and all that stuff, I think she's kind of just like I put it out there. I put it out there.
She's had a rough go.
Yeah.
She is my everything. She is
It's so
making a
serious.
I'm very serious.
But this is the thing that I care about the most.
Yeah, I really love her. I hate Michael so much. I don't know if it's an abusive relationship so much as it is she married him for, let's be real, she married him for his money. Maybe there was a sexual thing there. Maybe she is attracted to him. I mean, I'm very attracted to an Australian accent, not his.
Well, I think I think we're talking about abuse in a very antiquated way. I think we're talking about abuse thinking of abuse as like physical abuse. Or like gaslight.
Yeah,
I think
he
it
does
is
gaslight her. He does gaslight her.
It's abuse. It's abuse.
He's an abusive son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he cheats on her, and I couldn't get over when she called him. And what did he say to her? He said,
You wrote it down.
I wrote it down. You know I wrote it down because it made me so angry. She calls him. He's 11 minutes late. I will give him that. It's not that long that you have to freak out. He goes, I can't be molested like this, and then hangs up on her. I can't be molested like this when she calls him about the baby. How goddamn ironic from the tushy grabber of Potomac.
And not only that, like that was a moment caught off guard. It was like he's off camera, so he's not.
He's on his car phone.
He's being
or
exposed.
not his car phone, his cell phone. I think of my dad on the car
Romeo
phone.
Michelle's
in the
high
90s.
school reunion. So I think that he's not on camera, right? So he is completely vulnerable. He is him as he is, and that is who he
he's a
fucking
prick.
is.
Also, his name in their phone is Mickey Darby.
Which maybe okay, maybe there's some love there. Okay, fine, whatever. But thinking of them having sex, absolutely not. Okay, so Portugal. Ugh.
Wow, you took a big sip of vodka on that Zoom.
Yeah, because I'm trying to fall in love with Karen again.
I love Karen. What are you talking about? Karen is my number one forever. Her and Ashley.
It felt like her and Giselle were getting to a happy place. And a happy place doesn't mean friendship. It just means for the it means for the cameras.
Giselle's an asshole.
I think we're on opposite ends here. Let's get.
What do you mean? You're team Giselle?
I am team Giselle forever. And that includes her going back to her shitty fucking ex. I don't agree with it. I think it's a bad decision. Absolutely.
Now, speaking of gaslighting, Jamal, that drive
Full
when
gaslighting.
she said, "I want to get serious,"
gaslighting.
and he was like, "I was waiting for you."
Yeah.
Asshole.
Liar, and you know his dick is inside someone else as he's talking to her.
Don't look down, Dizzy.
But I stand Giselle. I do. Because I love a plucky dum dum.
She's very pretty. I will say. I mean, I okay. Listen.
Not to join the Zaza fashion, but is she?
Well, I was gonna say. So Marshall, I would say you know fashion. Am I wrong in that? I think you would know fashion.
That's a bold statement.
No, I think that you do. I'm being honest.
Currently, I'm wearing a Walt Disney World sweater.
Well, I think it's very cool. I think if you guys can't see, but Marshall, I think always wears cool outfits. I think you have great style.
I wear fun things, and I would assume that would not translate well on camera.
Yes,
because I feel like Giselle does the same thing, where she's like, she picks something up and goes, "Now this is a fun time.
No,
what a jaunt."
The difference between you and Giselle is that she has money and you are so broke, it's hard to watch. But what I'm saying is, for someone with no money, you
who's
dress
so broke, single, fat, stupid,
dirty neck, you know. You do have a fun style, and I I wear dresses and tights and blah blah blah. I don't fucking know. I don't really get it, so I feel like you would know if Giselle has bad style. I think she does, but only because people pointed it out this year.
But I would say I was also gaslit somewhat because I did accept her clothes and fashion for a long time until someone
by Giselle putting on clothes.
Yes. Until someone came to me and said, "No, this is bad. This is very bad." Well, it was my roommate Emmy. Oh. And she was like, "No, this is really, really fucking bad. And you really do have to stand back and objectively look at what she's wearing and go, oh, of course, it's camo pants."
Always camo pants with her.
No, it shouldn't be. And then like a diamante encrusted headband, like insane choices.
Monique's not going on the trip, which is unfortunate because I love Monique, even though she fucked up.
Let's talk about that in another episode.
I can't. I really can't do it. Robin made the flight. That was a shock.
Yeah, insert Robin joke about being late, which I won't, because I
Marshall,
find it a
record,
personal attack.
Marshall, great style, always late. This is Marshall.
I will stand next to Robin forever.
We are Marshall.
I love Robin. Marshall. I am Robin, and we will never be on time.
Actually, do you know what? That actually makes me want to be a lot softer on you for being late, because you're just a Robin at the end of the day.
Who the fuck are you? You are late all the fucking time.
No, Marshall, that's not true. Sometimes, yes. But I'm a hot 5. You're like a whole hour.
A hot 5? I have counted down the minutes a couple times, okay? And they were in the realm of 30 plus.
When have you ever waited for me? Anyway, you are Robin. Got it. What do I write here? What the fuck is Giselle wearing? Looks like me tobogganing. Okay,
I haven't even looked at the notes because
Karen ordering milk at the first dinner, and Ashley and saying it's an ulcer, and Ashley being like, "It's not an ulcer. It's because so she doesn't flap her gums when she gets drunk and talks about Ray."
Ashley had a good episode.
Ashley is so pretty. Whatever she does, I don't give a shit.
She said this in this episode, and it's the only thing I wrote down, which is, when Karen vibes, the gates open.
That was what she's talking about. Flapping the gums.
Yeah. I love
I
it.
love her. Um, yeah, I really like Ashley. I like her so much. I never want to talk about her song she made for Michael ever
We don't
again.
need to. We don't need to. We'll move
And
on.
I'm okay with like blocking that out.
So, okay, I have a question. So,
Yes.
Ashley and Monique, friends?
I guess so
This was news to
because
me.
I think they always kind of like
Is this an
connected through a
off-camera
mutual hate of
thing?
Candace. It's a Candace hate thing, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Because so apparently, I guess, Monique defended Ashley and Michael at the reunion, or didn't, I guess, give the footage of him grabbing ass, and then
Oh,
also knew about the open
yes,
marriage thing.
yes.
And then when they did that flashback to the night of the fight, and Monique, and this is why I miss Monique, she did like a very fake, oh, I didn't know about the
Oh, that was, by
threesomes.
the way, that was the Pulitzer Prize-winning fucking piece. That was
Yeah.
that acting in the Pulitzer.
Oh,
The
you know
acting
what?
in that was so good.
I think Monique's a really sad person who's probably in a really bad
There is a
marriage.
story behind Monique for sure.
And I think that, yes, obviously what she did was terrible and and also very entertaining. But
I mean,
it's too bad it basically ended her run, I think, with Potomac eventually.
Oh, I think she's
this is
done.
her last
I think she's
season.
done.
And it's too bad because Candace is pure evil.
And it seems like the crux of it is the suggestion that her husband is cheating. I think that's what it boils down to.
Do you think that he's cheating? You think
I
Chris
don't
is
know.
cheating?
I don't know, but
I think he's just a shitty husband.
but her
I think he's
reaction
sexist.
to the rumor of it, yeah, I agree. I think the reaction to the
No,
rumor
the
of
rumor
it
was about her cheating with the trainer.
yeah, but like,
And good for her, she is. When women cheat, it's feminism. When men cheat, it's abusive.
It's actually kind of true fact. Actually,
Okay, so let's move on to the two main fights of the episode. We got Giselle versus Karen. And you seem to be pro Giselle for some reason. And we have the Wendy versus Karen fucking education slog.
I mean,
Drop it.
my initial reaction is like, obviously, oh, enough with this kind of thing. But then I'm like, I try to think what I would feel like if I was in Karen's presence. And I can imagine Karen being a fucking nightmare to just have a conversation with.
What?
I can see her being dismissive.
I think she's so bright. Oh, I could see her being incredibly dismissive, but they can all be dismissive.
And so enter someone who really needs validation. Then they're,
Yeah, as smart as she is, I will say. Well, okay,
it's her
so
whole thing. Her
last
whole
week,
thing.
Last week, Biden and Harris were elected, and I read a tweet that said Kamala Harris has 4 degrees, and obviously my mind went to Wendy.
But I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Wendy because she's obviously worked very hard. But there's got to be more to the story. Like, come on. I guess she doesn't want to talk about her husband choosing her over her family.
Gorgeous
his
husband.
family.
Eddie, he's so pretty. What a pretty, good-looking man.
Yeah.
I do. And
He's probably like compared to the other husbands, he's maybe number 1. I mean, who else is gunning for this?
Michael Darby.
I stand corrected.
I do say this. that is, I think Ray would have been banging back in the day.
Yeah, he's got that Peter energy. Is Peter Cynthia's? Yeah, he's got that Peter energy.
Yeah, I think Peter's Peter, despite being a horrible human being, is definitely kind of sexy. Peter's so.
Yeah, I give it up, Wendy. Like maybe she's.
Give it up. Oh, but here's the thing. My main thing about Wendy, and I think I like her. I think she's a bright woman. Clearly,
I don't enjoy her allegiance to Candace. I'll say that. No.
Wrong side of history. I will say she bugs me. She tries too hard. She's like, I'm on a reality show. I'm gonna start little catchphrases. So when she's like, she acts like she's in control of the Karen fight. So she's like, I think I put a button on that and it's been fastened. And Karen's just like, whatever. and I want to kill her. And then 2 seconds later, they're doing shots, and she's like, "Cheers to licking poon," and I'm like, okay. I cannot get. I
I
don't know.
think it's
I'm on and
okay.
off.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I think that it's this kind of like you're jumping into a new group, right? So you're trying to come out swinging, but you also want to be respected. So it's that weird dance of like, here's who I am, but then also like, I need to defend who I am.
She's just trying too hard.
Yeah.
That's the issue. It's. I don't want to see you sweat.
Yeah. And
Do it effortlessly. Like who did
Robin forever.
Leah. Leah.
Leah.
Robin forever, number one. But Leah McSweeney, whose father follows me on Instagram and likes a bunch of my
Excuse
shit.
me?
One day, I smoked many marijuanas.
And did a deep dive into Leah's Instagram and followed her father,
And
Brian.
he liked something and then he followed you back.
I just followed him and he followed me back because he's an old man who's like, oh, return the favor.
As someone who follows all of Luann de Lesseps' children, I understand.
Noelle and Victoria? Is that who they are?
Yeah, sure.
Is that their names? Sure, why not?
The only thing to this
yeah.
episode is Wendy going at it with Karen.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Giselle versus Karen, which I don't even care about because it's like,
I felt like I really felt like they were coming to a place of peace.
wow, Giselle's been mean. She's been mean to Karen this
If
whole
you can't
season.
see my face,
She's been
it's
very
very
sneaky.
pouty.
Yeah, he loves Karen, or he loves Giselle, Aunt Jizzy. And okay, so I do really enjoy.
Okay, let's go to our notes.
I
We're both
do.
looking at our notes here. I'm just
I'm
going to
reading my notes.
read
What's it?
verbatim something I've written that I haven't read. Giselle's
Okay.
insecurity of a reverend not being around Karen. Girl, she
Yeah.
looked so hurt when Robin cut to the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, if Robin,
Yeah.
if your green-eyed bandit sister is jumping on the anti, whoa, I just punched my microphone. The anti Jamal bandwagon. Look at your choices.
And I feel like she'll listen to Robin no matter what. And I think in that moment later in the hotel,
I love Robin.
it really
Yeah.
cuts the bone.
And I like that they were two friends. And listen, we're good friends and we've had hard conversations sometimes. Very
Rock
rarely.
hard.
You rarely get deep. No, but we've had deep conversations and that really Robin and Giselle it was a real conversation between friends where Giselle was like, "Hey, I wish you hadn't done that." And Robin was like, "Hey, I'm sticking to
And
my
she was
guns
kinda
here."
ca-
Because I think a lot of the
It was
time
kinda
I
casual
think a
about
lot
it.
of the time Giselle kind of controls Robin or tries to, but I think Robin has a mind of her own.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you're right.
It was nice. I liked it. It was healthy, that conversation.
Secondary, in caps lock, I have written, was Robin fake sleeping in for the joke?
You know what? I wouldn't put it past her.
Because there is a shot of her asleep.
I know.
Where it's like people being like, is breakfast ready? Cut to Robin. And she has a big fat grin on her fucking face.
She knows. She's like,
Wait, yeah.
what I liked is okay. What I liked a lot, and I wrote it down. The women in the what do you call those? What were they in? Like the carriages or like the chairlifts? What are those called? Trams?
Sky trams. Gondolas.
Gondolas?
They are rampant in New
Gondola.
Zealand.
I thought a gondola was what you
Well, there's different types.
you paddled into Venice.
That's a gondola. Maybe a gondola
But I
is a thing in New Zealand that goes up
Oh.
in mountains. But there's maybe a different word also that you're thinking of. But anyway,
I don't know. I used to live in Jasper, Alberta too. They had those. They were scary. I'm not one for heights. But I liked when they were in the let's call it a
love
gondola.
when a producer has to choose who goes in which gondola. I love it.
I know. We're going in this one and
Yeah.
we're going with this one. And they split up Giselle and Robin. I like what Ashley was like, they meant stucco roofs. They were looking at the roofs of the city in Portugal, and they meant stucco, and they're like, it's staccato. I think Michael said it was staccato.
Also, I did look to my cat and be like, it's stucco, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, I ain't no architecture genius, but I'm
I know
50%
building
sure it's
stucco,
stucco.
but
Oh, okay. And then I need to talk about this. Karen and Giselle, the never-ending battle. Karen being like, hey, the crux of the feud is, Giselle, open up about your relationship because you're always needling me about opening up about mine. And it's true. I'm Team Karen on that.
absolutely.
And then
But it
Karen
just so
says,
may I just say it just so happens that
Yes.
Giselle has chosen the worst possible relationship. So there is no way in hell
Well.
she's going to open up about that. Open up about that.
you know what? What do you call that when somebody's glass houses?
Yes, people in glass houses should buy blinds.
People in glass houses should star in movies with Lily Sobies.
Yeah, showing your age and your homosexuality.
Yeah, I know. I saw it in theaters.
And Zoom.
Did you just burp?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought you burped.
Okay, so we're in the gondola.
So they're in the gondola, and no, we're out of the gondola.
They're out of the gondola.
You're out of the gondola. We're at the top of the fucking mountain. And Karen is like, I don't want to divulge my secrets to you, Giselle, because would you tell Satan about all your business?
I levitated off my sofa.
I lifted my leg and peed on the grass.
Oh my god. Delissimo. And here I was thinking that the whole reason we're in a gondola is to prove that one can get in a gondola without acting like Kyle Richards. But then we get out.
We're not in it. They're not in a gondola at that point.
Oh, sorry. I'm just imagining.
What are you,
I'm
you're
looking
very
at this
easy-
at
First of all,
the stuck and Channing roofs that I'm enjoying whatever island we're on.
Also, hun, I don't mean to call you hun, but
Babe.
what was I going to say? I don't think it's a gondola. I don't think it's called.
It's
I
a
don't think
gondola.
It's called a gondola.
It absolutely is. It's delicious. It's fast. It's quick, and it is a steep slope.
I was thinking about maybe like making like a Gone Girl pun, but I couldn't do that in the old nog.
As is true to one cannot get to a Gone Girl pun fast enough.
Yeah.
So
it's
okay,
true.
so I mean, I don't even want to get into the whole Karen and Giselle thing.
That's Potomac. That's Potomac. And
We're in
everybody-
We're in mid-season.
much-
We're in mid-season.
Well, we're getting to late season.
We're getting to where two
Usually-
white men fight.
Oh, I cannot wait. Break
And
all
I
the
don't think
stereotypes,
Chris
boys.
could have waited any longer to punch Michael Kelly in the face.
White Chris?
White Chris, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, if you've come this far, we want to thank you for tuning in this week for our inaugural episode.
Mhm.
Our inauguration, if you
Yes.
will.
Feeling crowned.
Yeah, I'm excited for going forward. And
I mean, not in life, but in terms of this podcast,
No.
absolutely. Oh no.
No. I'll be sleeping and then I will wake up for this podcast and then go right
But
back to sleep.
I'm absolutely ready to talk about Housewives forever and always. Because we've come this far, let's keep going.
You know, Marsh, sometimes I'm feeling Giovanni.
Sometimes I'm feeling Giovanni. That song needs to be buried real quick, and we need another Luann song immediately.
Yeah, I love
Man,
Luann.
we
Okay.
Luann forever.
Luann forever. And on that note, we want to thank you for
Yeah.
listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Goodbye.
Oh, God. Goodbye.